Kevin Costner's estranged wife blasts inappropriate $52,000 child support payment proposal. Now, I covered this like a while ago, but she has basically been like demanding that she needs like close to like $270,000 a month for child support when he's already paying like tens of thousands of dollars a month for his kids' expenses already. Like, already, right? So, Kevin Costner's estranged wife, Christine Baumgartner, reportedly thinks nearly $52,000 a month in child support for three kids is completely inappropriate. Yo, I wouldn't mind having $52,000 a month. Like, when I read these sort of things like online, it bothers me so much because it's just so absurd, right? Like these numbers are just so insane to me because like we're talking like crazy amounts of money. We're talking about a lot of people's yearly income as a full-grown adult, okay? Like that's the yearly income for a lot of people. For a lot of people, their yearly income as a single individual. Some people are making that as a couple. So it's just like, it's really crazy when you think about it that you have someone that is literally complaining about getting $52,000 a month in child support payments, okay? This isn't even alimony, which, by the way, he has already transferred millions of dollars into her bank account. Okay? Keep that in mind. Like, if I were to get married and I got divorced and the prenup was like, oh, I get millions of dollars and I get massive amounts of money for child support. Like, this is like you are literally shoveling diamonds in my pocket. Like, this is crazy. The former handbag designer, who is in the midst of a contentious divorce with the movie star, stood firm on her stance that her kids need $248,000 a month in child support. Which, also, by the way, the previous story, she spent like 100 grand on plastic surgery. Like, I don't know what the hell she spent 100 grand on, but she spent 100 grand on plastic surgery in a month. Baumgartner, 49, reportedly pointed out that Costner, 68, makes $65,000 per month just for renting out a beachfront property, and that income alone is more than what he is willing to pay for his three underage kids. The Bodyguard star and his estranged wife share son Caden, 16, and daughters Hayden, 14, and Grace, 13. Baumgartner, who previously admitted to not having a job herself since her eldest was born in 2007, reportedly said her children are accustomed to a lifestyle that includes assistants, helpers who handle schedules, grocery shopping, food prep, cleaning, and cooking. Which, by the way, that doesn't cost 52 grand a month, okay? Just saying. That does not cost 52 grand a month. However, Costner has maintained that $51,940 a month, which is what he's currently paying, okay? So he is already paying this amount, right? So this is the only reasonable amount of money that he should pay in child support, right? The actor also recently alleged that he simply cannot afford a higher amount since he would no longer be on his hit show Yellowstone. But think about this for a second, okay? He's not having to pay child support yet. He chose to pay this amount of money, okay? Like, think about that for a second. He is choosing right now and has been paying $51,940 a month because he wants to. Okay? Like, that is not child support yet. Like, he has not done child support yet. He just said he's willing to pay that and has been paying that because in the previous thing that I covered, he literally said that I will take care of all the kids' costs. That's what he said, right? So he's already paying for all their costs, and she's like, "No, what are you talking about? 52 grand a month ain't enough for these three kids. No way. You gotta pay $250,000 a month for child support, even though you're already paying $52,000 to cover their expenses when they're kids, 52 grand a month. No, you gotta pay $200,000 more a month. Crazy to me. So I will earn substantially less in 2023 than I did in 2022, he claimed in court documents obtained by Page 6 last week. This is because I am no longer under contract for Yellowstone, the principal source of my income last year. Costner also previously argued via his attorneys that Bogmunder is allegedly seeking a higher payday for child support in order to fund her own personal expenses. In documents previously obtained by Page 6, the Hidden Figures actor's forensic accountant found out his estranged wife spends more than $100,000 on cosmetic surgery procedures, and that's the real reason she is asking for so much money. And again, can you imagine spending 100 grand on plastic surgery? Like 100 grand is a massive amount of money. Like an absurd amount of money. And again, we're talking about like per month. Like, Lord. Costner also claims his wife has dropped thousands of dollars in boutique shopping, ATM withdrawals, construction loans, attorneys' fees, and other expenses that have nothing to do with her children. However, the former model, whom a judge forced to vacate the marital home by the end of the month earlier this week, reportedly wants to use the money to find a house that her children will live in that is similar to the gated community that they are accustomed to. His wife filed for divorce in May after 18 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences, a source told us at the time. She left Costner stunned by the filing. And by the way, she signed a prenup, right? She signed a prenup that still gave her millions of dollars, okay? And basically set her for life. And yet, she is basically what she's trying to do. And she even said it was to basically try to nullify her prenup that she willingly signed so that he would have to pay her crazy amounts of money. So the former couple's spousal support terms were reportedly set up in the premarital agreement, which also includes the Hollywood star setting up his estranged wife with a separate $1.2 million property. Meaning, one, he already gave her millions of dollars in a bank account that she has not touched. Two, apparently he has to give her a $1.2 million property. Like, that's crazy. So Costner has reportedly also offered to pay his wife a $10,000 advance toward her moving costs and $30,000 per month for a rental house as part of his child support obligations. Which again, to me, like, spending 30 grand per month on a rental home, like 30 grand a month on a rental home. Like, again, like some of these numbers just like freak me out because it's just so insane. Like, these numbers are so insane. Like, again, some people are literally making 30 grand a year. Now, if you're making only 30 grand a year, you're probably not really doing potentially that good unless your cost of living is super low. But like, can, like, if you stumble upon this, Can you imagine spending 30 grand a month on a rental home? I'd rather, I don't know, buy a car, put money towards investments, live a pretty awesome life with 30 grand a month. Like, what the heck? Let's see some of these comments. She is using the kids to milk a 68-year-old man dry. The money will be used by her because she is used to spending what she wants and not working. She filed for divorce. She doesn't want him anymore, but she wants his money. Enough said. And the fact that she's also trying to nullify the prenup goes to show you what the real reason for this is to try to get as much money as possible from him. Let's see. I honestly believe she is wrong. Kevin will always pay to make sure his children have what they need, but their lifestyle will change. Kevin should not have to fit the bill so they have servants and cooks and all the glam. They will adjust to not being spoiled. The thing is, how are you not being spoiled if you get 52 grand a month for your living expenses? Like, yo, how about you give me 52 grand a month? Like, what the heck? She, I believe, wants the most she can get to provide for herself, and she is using those kids as an excuse to pamper herself with his money. This is pathetic. Pathetic. I am so glad he got a prenup. Now, the thing is, he got a prenup, to my knowledge, because his first divorce ended like really badly. Like it was like a filthy, filthy divorce, apparently. So he got a prenup to kind of like protect himself from that. So this whole money thing has nothing to do with those children. She needs to learn how to make a living for herself or find another sugar daddy. He seems to be very generous and she needs to let him go and build a stable home for the kids, other than when he shares his home and time with them. She agreed, and good parenting is not about having it all. It's about taking what you have and making it work. Kids their age can adjust. She wants his money, and that is the fact. Those so called kids are about grown. They will adjust to a more modest lifestyle. Face it, lady, you need to set an example and do for yourself, not line your pockets with your famous soon to be ex husband's money that he has worked his entire life to acquire. Yeah, like that would suck. Like, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. And again, the main reason why I'm covering this is because the same reason why I covered it before. Who you marry is probably one of the most important financial choices you could ever make, right? Now, in his situation, he did the perfect thing, which is to get a prenup. A prenup that would technically protect her as well, like by giving her a good amount of money, right? For normal human standards, right? Like, he took care of her. Now, let's say that you were about to get married and both of you did not have any income coming in, or if it was very, very low, and both of you had a bunch of debt. There's literally no point to get a prenup in that scenario because you're both basically poorer than dirt, right? Because you got a negative net worth, both of you. Now, if some person has a crazy amount of debt, but the other person is completely debt free and has money in investments, then yeah, maybe you should do like a prenup in that scenario. Where like let's say that one person has like a negative 100,000 net worth and another person has a positive $100,000 net worth. In that scenario, I'd probably get a prenup just for like safety reasons. Now, it really gets kind of like crazy when you come into a situation where, like in his situation, you have one person who makes millions of dollars and also has millions of dollars, and the other person, even if they were to work a full time job doing whatever it is that they're doing, they will never get to the income potential or ever get their hands on money themselves the way that the other person does. In that scenario, you set up like a prenup that one protects the person that has the crazy amount of money, but also takes care of the other person because if something happens, they need to be able to take care of themselves and potentially kids too, right? So like if you're a guy making like 5 million a year and you got like 20 million in the bank and you marry a girl that was like a waitress at like a bar, like in like a really crappy bar, and she basically has nothing to her name. If you were to marry her, you should set up the prenup in a way where she would be taken care of if something were to happen to you two, because she probably wouldn't be working after you marry her, like in that example. So in that scenario, you create a prenup that protects her if something were to happen, but also protects you as well. So that scenario, you basically do something where like you protect the like main breadwinner like 90-80%, but you still take care of the other person because they are potentially making a massive sacrifice by just stopping their life in a way, right? Because the sad scenario is when you get into a situation, which I've seen before, where you have a guy who makes all the money, has all the money, right? Like let's say that he has like 3 million in the bank or in investments or whatever, and he makes like 300K a year after tax. He marries a girl that did have a good job, but she stopped working to be a stay-at-home mom. And then let's say like 10, 15, maybe even 20 years down the line of her literally not working at all throughout that whole time, he divorces her. That is a horrible situation for that lady and also for the potential kids because she literally has like practically no income earning potential and is just pretty much completely financially screwed because she relied so much on him because he's the breadwinner, he has all the money, etc. And I seen it where the lady, the wife, did not get a single cent. Like literally not a single cent from a divorce, which was crazy, which pretty much never happens, but in their scenario it did, and she was completely screwed. Like she could not take care of anything at all. She was just financially completely wrecked. Like we're basically like she went down like a really bad path for like multiple years and all that kind of stuff. So it could get really bad, like really bad.